Hello dear students! Today we are gonna talk about sea animals and how do they look like. Let's going to watch a video first and then I'm gonna explain to you. A trip to the reef. Sea animals. Hammerhead shark. Jellyfish. Pufferfish. Ray. Shark. Seahorse. Starfish. Sawfish. After watching the video, I suppose you have some questions. So for that, I'm gonna first talk about the singular. You have to remember that you talk about singular to talk about only one. A and is the same as one. And the personal pronoun that you are gonna use is it. Okay? In here, we have the plural. And in the plural, you have to remember plural 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Right? More than one. And the personal pronoun they. For example, in here you have the fish. And for fish, clownfish. And for clownfish, the personal pronoun is it. And here you have two sharks. Instead of saying sharks, you can say they. Now you have to remember something. It says the majority of the nouns in plural ends in s or es. In here you have two sharks. What you have to add the s. According to the rule, sharks. In the case of octopus, because octopus already ends in s, you are gonna add es. But you have to be aware that there is an exception. It says fish, you have it here, one fish. But in plural, you also said fish. 1, 2, 3, fish. 3 fish. You are not going to add s or es at the end. No, this is an exception. So, for that, if you have jellyfish, jellyfish in singular, jellyfish in plural. And the rest of them, all the sea animals that ends with fish in singular is the same as in the plural. But you have to be aware that if they write the same, is not it in both. In here it's gonna be it's the personal pronoun, but in here it's gonna be they. Okay, now I'm gonna explain this question that you have in here. It says, what does a clownfish look like? When you have look like, you talk about appearance, the similarity. What does a clownfish? If you take a look, it's only one. And because you have one, you are gonna use does. And the end, look like. What does a clownfish look like? This comes from here. A clownfish, no. In the answer, you are gonna say it. It looks like. From this part, in the question you have at the end, but in the answer, you are gonna write it in the middle, in here. So it says, it looks like a clown. Okay, you know the clown, right? Okay. In here, you have the plural. What do sharks look like? If you take a look, you are gonna use do. not does. Do because it's in plural. What do sharks, yes, look like? Sharks, not anymore. They look like torpedoes. You also have more examples in the video.
How do they look like? What does a shark look like? It looks like a torpedo. What does a starfish look like? It looks like a Christmas decoration. What does a seahorse look like? It looks like a horse. What does a pufferfish look like? It looks like a balloon. What does a marlin look like? It looks like a sword. What does a sawfish look like? It looks like a saw. What do stingrays look like? They look like kites. What do the jellyfish look like? They look like umbrellas.